Not Bitter Talk. And yes, I am your host, Todd Huff. If you're watching on YouTube, good to be here. Thank you for joining us. Last week was out on vacation, a much-needed vacation. Family and I took a trip to, I shared this last hour, but we were going to go to Virginia Beach. Long story short, given our concerns about Governor Northam and potential shutdowns and all that sort of stuff, we decided that we would instead stay in the state and travel to several different campgrounds, including Clifty Falls, which is in the southern part of the state, and Indiana Dunes in the northern part of the state, which that was beautiful, by the way. Both parks, beautiful. Had a lot of fun. Also spent a time at another smaller park as well, Shakamak. But anyway, good to be back. Thank you for joining us again as we're back this week. By the way, email me your thoughts, questions, your feedback, your adoration and praise will also be accepted. Looking forward to those emails telling me how much you missed me last week, how you could barely get through the week without me. Those will be accepted as well. Kidding, not kidding, at Todd. Email address, todd@toddofshow.com. So, last hour talked a little bit about Biden's potential VP picks. Talked about one of them, Karen Bass, which most people don't know much about. She's a representative from the state of California. She's a radical leftist. In fact, a Democratic consultant is quoted in The Atlantic as saying that she, Karen Bass, Representative Karen Bass, makes Bernie Sanders look like Ronald Reagan. Karen Bass tweeted, this is what we talked about last hour, tweeted her condolences to the Cuban people back in 2016 for their great loss, expressing her sadness over the great loss of Fidel Castro, the murderous dictatorial tyrant who has ruled Cuba. Well, of course, he had gotten sick, and his brother Raul had taken over the reins there in the Cuban dictatorship. But Karen Bass tweeting that out, and has since then she's learned. She learned after visiting there, after being a radical her entire life, she's just now learned in the past 4 years that Castro wasn't that great of a guy, and that the Cuban people don't have the same freedoms that Americans have. Now, this is someone who is a representative. This is someone who stands up when she's elected and puts her hand on whatever. Some people use a Bible, some people, who knows what, I don't know any of that, but she stands up and she says that she swears to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Yes, she doesn't understand the beauty of the document. She doesn't understand what it is that makes people, people in this country have it so good. And that is because of the foundational documents that have been put into place by our founders, by our at the time, radical concepts. Folks were no longer subjects, but instead they were citizens. Folks were no longer kind of instruments of the state. Folks were viewed as individuals created by Almighty God to live the life, to fulfill the calling that they were, that God had placed upon their hearts, to live the life that they so chose to live. And that involved having freedom and liberty. Now we've got someone who swears to uphold the Constitution, doesn't see anything apparently special about it, doesn't see anything special about this country apparently. If she can't see, if it took until 4 years ago, folks, I don't know how old Karen Bass is, but let's just say she's around 60. I don't want to insult, if she's younger than that, my apologies. But how do you live half a century? How do you live for half a century or longer in this nation, going through a school system that's supposed to be teaching you things about the American society? How in the world can you do all that, become an elected official, and not have any idea that the freedoms that we have in this nation are not enjoyed by the people of Cuba. How can you possibly not know that? Now, I will tell you that the people of Cuba have those freedoms in the sense that those freedoms do not come from government. They're not derived from the government, but the government there is actively inserting itself between the freedoms that God grants human beings. They're standing between those freedoms and their people. She has no idea about that. In fact, she's down there saying that she's trying to help with health care, which I thought Bernie told us, and Oz pointed this out to me earlier, but Bernie told us that was the one thing that Castro got right. Yeah, he's a totalitarian tyrant, but man, they've two things. They've got free education, or education's great apparently, and healthcare. Both things phenomenal because they're free. Of course, the cost of that is you basically are under the heavy hand of the totalitarian regime, and you do whatever they want. You do not politically oppose them. You do not worship a God that they don't give you permission to worship. In fact, if your worship of God interferes with your worship of the state, they ain't having any of that, folks. So this is what we're up against. So we talked about that in the first hour, but I want to shift gears. It's staying in the same general area. But I want to share a couple of things here regarding Biden. So this is now his, Biden's choice for VP. We're down to who knows how many. There's at least 4 black women according to Biden, which that of course is the only qualifier apparently for vice president for Biden is that someone's a woman, and potentially, although that's not entirely certain, that she's also black. To which I asked the question, and I ask again, Vice President Biden, I'm curious what qualifies someone to be vice president simply because they're a black woman, and what disqualifies them because they're a white woman, Hispanic woman, Asian woman, black man, Asian man, Hispanic man, white man. We know what disqualifies you from that. But again, with this concept, it's just bizarre to me. And I understand what's going on here. Don't misunderstand me, but it's still bizarre. It's so... One of the things that I think the Obama administration did well was that they were slick. They could make it about something, make an issue about something it really wasn't about. But I could see how people were caught up in kind of the caught in the moment, or caught up in the performance or the way it was presented. Because Obama was a very, articulate, smooth, just very, very skilled at communication. Now, I would say, is he skilled at, promoting the right ideas? Absolutely not in many cases. But the point is that I could see how people could get a little bit, I don't know, just caught up in what was being said and not really understanding the details of how the things he was promoting were actually bad. I don't see how that's possible with Biden. They don't have that same ability. They don't have that same... Biden is not articulate. Biden is not smooth talking. Biden has always been, and I want to be careful here because I don't want to... I don't know if he's suffering from, I don't want to, I don't want to suggest that he is, and I also don't want to be insensitive if he is. So I'm trying to tightrope this. But I do think there are concerns about, maybe some, the dementia questions are fair to me because of some of the things that we've said. But even before that, Biden has been a one-man gaffe machine, and maybe we should put together a montage of some of these. Biden telling us back in 2008, I guess it was, it may have been slightly before that you can't walk into a 7-Eleven without running into someone with an Indian accent. He's serious, he said, by the way. Biden tells a guy Chuck Graham to stand up. State Senator Chuck Graham. Chuck Graham's confined to a wheelchair. Stand up, Chuck. Oh, Chuck, what am I talking about? Let's stand up for Chuck. Right? Biden on a hot mic as he's hugging and praising Obama for passing Obamacare back in 2000 and whenever that was, 2009, I guess. Maybe 2010. Calls it a big blanking deal. I mean, we could go on and on. Biden's run for president 3 times. Many folks don't know this. He ran back in 1988. Folks, he ran for president in 1988, 32 years ago. 32 years ago, guy ran for president. Got in trouble for plagiarizing speeches. No one talks about that today. There's a lot of problems that Biden has. I alluded to this last hour, but we still haven't even begun the reporting on, say, Tara Reade, the questions about that, which I know the media is not going to jump into, but Trump's not going to let this go away. We're down to 90 days now. Get ready for what we're about to experience here. If we thought 2016 was a bumpy ride, we've not experienced anything quite yet. This is, the direction. Seeing what Trump has run into and seeing the problems of the bureaucratic state, of someone called the deep state, of seeing the problems with our government, the unsustainable costs associated, the out-of-control bureaucracy and madness that exists, people that are using their positions and authority within the government to try to undermine and even stop a president, people in places like the FBI, people that are part of the former administration, the Obama administration, the things that they have done are just reprehensible and inexcusable. And really, we're making a decision as to which direction we're going to go. Are we going to go back to how things were when the media didn't get so upset and drive people into a tizzy, but yet we watch the growth of this machine and this beast to what it is today? Or are people going to be able to stomach another 4 years of tension and turmoil because Trump's openly fighting and attacking the government, the deep state, the swamp, whatever you want to call this? And there are tremendous consequences for this election. And so when one side doesn't want to promote its candidate, when they want him to hide in the basement and not do debates, not make appearances, and when they're banking on your hatred or the hatred of Americans for President Trump, when that is what the entire campaign is going to be predicated upon, it's not going to be what is Biden for or why is he best. It's going to be settle for Biden. When that's the position, and when that's going to be the choice, the amount of hatred they're going to have to stir up against Trump, which they've already done to some degree. They've laid the groundwork. But folks, I don't think we've seen anything yet. And when the consequences are so enormous, the future of this country at stake, some would argue that, really the fate of our constitutional republic is hanging in the balance. I mean, we have the United States has weathered a lot over its history, but we're at this point. We're at this point to where, we're making some fundamental choices. We have vice presidential candidates who are openly sympathetic to communist dictators that may literally be sitting in the Oval Office meeting with President, God forbid, President Biden, talking about important issues pertaining to relations with China or to Cuba, or how do we deal with North Korea or whatever. There's a myriad of issues that come from this. But when you're sympathetic to an ideology that is truly the antithesis to that which we hold, to that which we've been built upon in this great nation, I don't see how that is at all, how anything good can come from that. And that's where we find ourselves. So anyway, when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about Joe Lockhart I actually want to play a soundbite from Joe Biden, too, time permitting, on Joy Reid. But I want to get into some of these sound bites talking about the election, be it the VP choice, be it people pressuring Biden not to do debates, and that strategy for campaigning in 2020. So we'll do those things when we get back. Can take a quick time out. You're listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
It's been said that we often make the mistake of hiring people based upon what they know, yet we almost always fire them because of who they are. If you've ever made this mistake when choosing a company to do work on your home, you know exactly how agonizing this can be. The company may offer quality products, have certified technicians, offer a stellar warranty, but they're late, or they hit you with hidden charges, or they're rude, or worse. Why not get the best of both worlds by choosing Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing? Economy installs high-quality trained products, and they're trained and certified to provide the absolute highest levels of expertise in central Indiana today. And they provide the kind of service you'd expect from a Christian company. In fact, they specifically seek to deliver a Romans 12, 10, and 11 kind of experience for each and every job they do. So call Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today at 317-831-5279 or visit economyheatingandair.com. That's economyheatingandair.com.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Indy Decorative Concrete is hiring immediately. They're looking for workers with experience finishing concrete. Pay is $25 to $30 per hour with weekly overtime. All jobs are located within the city of Indianapolis. Call 317-784-1464 or apply in person at their offices located at 8366 Brookville Road, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46239. They're open Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, visit their website, www.indydecorativeconcrete.com. www.indydecorativeconcrete.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Welcome back. So, again, good to be back from our week of vacation. Anytime we jump back into it on a Monday, there's a lot of stuff. There's always a lot of stuff on Monday, but particularly a lot of stuff when you've been out for a week. So, we're talking about Biden here, talking about just this whole campaign and what this is going to look like. The Democrats are basically accepting the fact that Biden is their guy reluctantly, and they know that this is he's not an inspiring candidate. There's not a lot of energy for Biden. There's more energy for or against Trump. Trump's the one that drives the energy. Trump either makes people want to vote for him. By the way, I will tell you, and I had this question. I do an interview series with another host, Tuesdays with Todd. So we'll do that tomorrow. But the last time I was on, he asked me in my travels around the state, I'm in Indiana, but he asked me, if I'd seen any Biden signs or anything like that. And having traveled most of the corners of the state over the past week, I can tell you, I don't think we saw a single Biden sign. I can't swear to that. And folks, I mean, literally, we went to western Indiana, we went to southern Indiana, and we were all the way up in northern Indiana on Lake Michigan, and then back to central Indiana where we live. And I don't believe that we saw one single Biden yard sign. Now, there might have been a Biden bumper sticker or something like that. But you compare that to the Trump supporters. I mean, everywhere we went, we saw Trump signs. And I'll tell you this, when you see a house with a Trump sign, you see usually multiple Trump signs, a Trump flag. In fact, we camped last week. We saw people who set up their campsites. They had multiple Trump flags, Trump signs, I don't even know, Trump stuff on their camper, hanging out like in the area out around their camper and so forth. Now, that doesn't mean anything. It just means that the people who support Trump, right? They know that Trump has uncovered, or Trump is dealing with a government that is truly America's number one domestic problem. Now there's issues, of course, don't misunderstand me, but you want to talk about systematic problems in our government. It is what our government has grown to do and what it's grown to be and become, and what it believes its role is, how it's eroding our liberties slowly, gradually, grain of sand by grain of sand, sometimes in a much larger chunk than that when we've seen some of these reactions to COVID, coronavirus, and that sort of thing. But so this is the landscape, right? Energy for Trump, energy against Trump. It's you're either for him or against him. Really is kind of what this is shaping up to be. And Biden's out there hiding. Biden's hiding. True story. He's hiding. And they know that this can't go on indefinitely. And they also know, and I want to play this soundbite, a little bit of this conversation, Joe Lockhart, Michael Smerconish, and talking about Joe Biden debating Donald Trump. And I want you to listen to this. The way that they deceive themselves, the way that they just try to make excuses for what they really want. The mind will justify what the heart desires. They don't want Biden on stage with Trump because they know he will get trounced. They know that he will be exposed as being not very competent. They know that Trump's going to hammer this guy. They know Trump's going to push with comments about Burisma, Hunter Biden, about Tara Reade, about all this stuff. About Biden's half-century virtually, of quote-unquote service to America in public life. But I want to play a part of this. I don't know if I can get through all this. But this is Joe Lockhart, political analyst, consultant inside he's in the Democrat Party. He's in the it crowd, so to speak, talking with Michael Smerconish about his advice to Biden regarding debates with President Trump. Here you go.
We're just 59 days away from the first presidential debate between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. But for weeks, some political experts have been raising the question, would Biden be better off skipping the debates? Former Clinton White House Press Secretary Joe Lockhart wrote an op-ed for CNN.com titled, Joe Biden could still lose this election. And as I read it, I was struck by this provocative paragraph. Quote, whatever you do, don't debate Trump. Trump has now made more than 20,000 misleading or false statements, according to the Washington Post.
Which, of course, we can believe.
It's a fool's errand to enter the ring with someone who can't follow the rules or the truth. Biden will undoubtedly take heat from Republicans and the media for skipping the debates, but it's worth the risk, as trying to debate someone incapable of telling the truth is an impossible contest to win.
Oh, okay, pause. I've got to take a break in a second. But pause. I actually think that this is, well, it's silliness is what it is. But I actually am a believer in the exact opposite. I think, see, what Lockhart here is saying is, you get up on stage with Trump and the guy lies. Washington Post says he's told 20,000 lies since being in office. 20,000 lies. It's just remarkable to me. So who's going to try to disprove 20,000 lies? I've looked at some of I haven't read the comprehensive list, but I've looked at this list. And I don't think that CNN or the Washington Post or either one of them, candidly, knows the definition of a lie. In fact, I think that they're living a lie. But regardless, I look here and I think, if someone is not truthful, I want to expose that to the light of day. I actually have this old school belief, and that's why we do things like CNBU, Conservative Not Bitter University. It's because I think if people know information and they know truth and they're not having to understand conservatism through the lens or through the microphone, through the filter of the media, which of course is not going to be very sympathetic or accurate in the way that it portrays or depicts conservatism or conservatives. I think if we can cut through that and let shine the light of truth on it, shine it, let it shine, baby. That's what I say. Shine that light of truth on what, two people who disagree, on two ideologies. Shine the light of truth. I believe in people and their abilities to see that for what it is. Now, some people are blinded. They want things that, they probably deep down know. Sometimes they don't know, but sometimes they do know, and they refuse to see the truth. And we all can relate to that. There's a truth about ourselves that's hard to swallow, maybe. Definitely, I would say. In fact, that's what the Christian faith is predicated upon, that we're all born sinners. We don't like to, accept that at first, but that's the truth. And we need fixed, so to speak. So I think the light of truth being shined is the answer. You don't run from those people. That's cowardly. No matter how you slice this, that is cowardly. The first virtual candidate ever for president, Joe Biden, is literally, they're talking about having him not be present in debates. And the truth is, not because of this nonsense that Lockhart's talking about, which will play a bit of that conversation. The truth is, they know. The truth is that they know it is a problem for him to go up on that stage against Trump, and he will get annihilated. That's what they know. And they are right, by the way. They are right. It's not because you can't win a fight with someone who lies. Give me a break. Happens all the time. In fact, that's really the reason why free speech is so important. Let ideas duke it out in the marketplace, in the public sphere. Let them duke it out. Let people who have opposing ideas, metaphorically, of course, we're not condoning violence here, metaphorically duke it out. Right? So, anyway, they look at this the opposite. And again, it's not that that's how they look at it. They want to justify what they want, which is not Biden to not be on that stage with Trump. They got to come up with some crazy scenario, some crazy explanation that says it makes sense to not have Biden on that stage. This is how liberals think. Their desires drive them. The desire for Biden to win, they know they can't have him on that stage with Trump. That's not going to help him. So let's come up with some cockamamie excuse as to why he can't. So we'll talk about that, play that soundbite when we get back. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk, and I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable, flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Are you an electrician, plumber, or handyman looking for an 8-to-5 job that pays you what you're worth? Copper Ridge Home Services wants you. Our veteran-owned family business offers holiday pay, weekends off, and on-site training for entry-level positions. Our team is growing, so if you have a can-do attitude, we want you to be part of that growth. Ready for a change? Give Copper Ridge a call at 317-839-6100. That's 317-839-6100. Copper Ridge Home Services. We value your time.
welcome back. So, been playing this, played the beginning of Michael Smerconish introducing his guest, Joe Lockhart. Joe Lockhart, of course, Democratic strategist, interested in getting Democrats elected. And so Lockhart's right here, in a sense. Lockhart is right that Biden does not need to be on the debate stage with President Trump. And so now he's come up with some cockamamie excuse as to why he shouldn't be, because what does it say here? Again, Smerconish read this. This was his advice, Lockhart's advice, as posted at CNN.com. Whatever you do, writing this kind of as an open letter to Biden, don't debate Trump. Trump has now made more than 20,000 misleading or false statements, according to the Washington Post, who is the most trustworthy source of all journalism. That's my little edit there, which is totally meant to be taken with sarcasm. It's a fool's errand to enter the ring with someone who can't follow the rules or the truth. The truth. Biden wouldn't know the truth if it smacked him up the side of the head. Biden will undoubtedly, he writes, take heat from Republicans and the media. Baloney. Are you kidding me? The media is not going to give him fits over this for skipping the debates. But it's worth the risk, as trying to debate someone incapable of telling the truth is an impossible contest to win. As I said last segment, that's a bunch of baloney, because actually this is the whole reason we need, well, one of the main reasons we need free speech, why it's so important. Because when arguments are made, when people are exposed for what their motivations are, that actually can help people make a determination as to what the right path is, or what the winning argument is, so to speak. Hiding in your basement, afraid of going on stage with President Trump, doesn't do anything unless your strategy is to stir up enough hatred for Trump and not actually try to get people to support you, which I maintain is, of course, the strategy. So I got a little bit, going to be long this segment, but let's listen to a little bit of this conversation. Michael Smerconish, Joe Lockhart discussing this. Here we go.
Joining me now to discuss his piece is CNN political analyst Joe Lockhart. Joe, if the president is watching this right now, I could see him rubbing his hands together and saying, oh my God, that would be perfect. Because then I, of course, get to say he's afraid to get on the stage with me. It has to do with his cognitive abilities.
There you go. That's exactly right, by the way.
Yeah, well, he will say that. And I think, as I wrote in the article, it's worth the risk.
Oh, my gosh.
This is a president who, as I said in the article, is incapable of telling the truth. He spins these conspiracy theories out there. And up till now, most of those theories are broadcast by Fox News and, on his Twitter feed. And, most Americans don't see that. The debates are very different. This is the one thing, now that we're not really going to have conventions where the public will tune in, 50, 60 million people. And they will see all of this nonsense from him. He will take the truth and destroy it. And Biden will be in the position of correcting him over and over and over again. I don't think he should give him that platform.
Why?
If you were contacted by the former press secretary Joe Lockhart.
This is absolutely stupid stuff. This is meaningless drivel. That's what this is. What he's really saying is the American people are stupid. That's what Joe Lockhart is saying there. Americans, you're stupid. You can't tell if President Trump is telling a lie. And Joe Biden shouldn't go on the record, go up there just to correct him. What a perverted and completely insane view of reality this is. Biden's going to go up there and correct President Trump? That's his job? Thought we were going to have fact checkers anyway at these debates. Real-time fact checkers. Probably Joe Lockhart. That's probably one of the media's picks. George Stephanopoulos could probably be one. Somebody that used to work with the Clintons. Someone, maybe Donna Brazile. Maybe she could be the fact checker. And what else did these jokers want? They are scared. They have a weak candidate. He's going to try to hide. He's going to try to get away with this as much as he can. He's going to have his surrogates go out here, which is what they're doing. Surrogates going out front, making these insane arguments. I'd love to talk with Joe Lockhart about this. This is patently stupid. If you stand on the side of truth, why do you want to hide your truth, Joe? Get out there and proclaim it. Get out there and face it head on. That's the whole reason I do this program. The entire reason I do this program is because I believe constitutional conservatism is rooted in truth. I believe that people need to know that. And I welcome people. I welcome them with open arms. I welcome them to listen to what I have to say, to challenge me. I welcome it. I look for people who say ridiculous things. I look for people that tell lies and, misconstrue conservatives. I look for that because you know what? I think the truth will win out. But see, the problem is they're not on the side of truth. The problem is they've got a joke of a candidate. The problem is they know President Trump will expose all of this, and they don't have an answer. And I've got to take a break. You're listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email John at toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
Welcome back. Sorry about that. I don't know what the ad didn't play or something there. So, getting back to it here. I want to continue our discussion with this Michael Smerconish. Again, I want to go back to what his conversation with Joe Lockhart. I want to go back to what it was, to what he said about Biden, about what Lockhart said Biden should do, or should not do, really, by not stepping on the debate stage with Trump. I want you to listen to this because this is insanity. Here we go.
This is the one thing, now that we're not really going to have conventions where the public will tune in, 50, 60 million people. And they will see all of this nonsense from him. He will take the truth and destroy it. And Biden will be in the position of correcting him over and over and over again. I don't think he should give him that platform.
Okay, pause. Why not? There's only one answer here, by the way. It's because he knows that that's not really the truth. Think about this. People are going to see, according to Joe Lockhart, craziness coming from Donald Trump, and then Biden's going to get to go on the record and correct him. And Biden's going to have the chance to look like the voice of reason. Biden's going to have the chance to be able to explain to people just how crazy President Trump is, how crazy these conspiracy theories are, whatever Lockhart's saying here. Why would you not want this? There's a rule. I've listened to talk radio for over 20 years now, and I remember listening to the great Rush Limbaugh, which, by the way, everyone else is playing for second place as far as I'm concerned. Rush Limbaugh, of course, holding the trophy, so to speak. There's winners here, holding the trophy for first place. And I remember him saying sometimes when you have a caller, he takes callers and callers, call in and they start to criticize or start to make some crazy point and they're not making any sense. Sometimes he said you just get out of their way. You just get out of the way and let the metaphorical car crash happen. And they actually end up, because of the crazy things they're saying, they end up making your case as well as or potentially better than you could by arguing against their case simply by letting them talk. If what Lockhart is telling us is true about Trump, then this is exactly what the Democrats should welcome. Listen to me. I welcome Joe Biden to the debate stage. I welcome that. At some point, people have to ask themselves, why do we want to vote for a guy that doesn't want to tell us anything that he believes? Why do we want to vote for a guy? Why can we support a guy? How can we support a guy who doesn't do anything? He just hides in his basement. He doesn't tell us why his ideas are great. The guy's been there for 50, I'm rounding up, but 44 years of so-called public service. Why can't this guy go out there and explain to us why his ideas haven't worked in the past 44 years? If America's half as bad as the left tells us it is, then Biden's at least partially or maybe even largely to blame. He's been in positions of power for half a century, folks. He's been one of 100 senators in the U.S. Senate. He's been vice president. He sat in the Oval Office with Obama. They're making that's their strategy. Keep him hidden. Keep Biden hidden, and then let people know that Biden worked with Obama. That's it. That's their strategy. And anything else that involves any more involvement for Biden is problems for the Democrat Party, and they know it. They absolutely know it. Do not doubt me on this. And I got to take a break. You're listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Our partner, Global Plasma Solutions, has published ionization testing results that demonstrate a 99.4% reduction rate on a SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19 surface strain within 30 minutes. This is the first instance that an air purification company has effectively neutralized SARS-CoV-2. Commercial Service Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is installing this solution in businesses and homes in South Central Indiana. Get your free information kit at commercialservice.com/info. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Welcome back, folks. That is about all the time that we have today. So, but look, we're at no shortage of things to discuss. In fact, I was just telling Oz here during the break, just saw that an email that had gone out from the city of Minneapolis to citizens, which maybe we'll talk about tomorrow. Surprisingly, city of Minneapolis has seen an increase in carjackings and robberies. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that would have happened? So they've got tips on how to deal with that since the cops aren't going to be able to come and help you. Oh, what a messed up world we live in. Guys, I've got to go. Have a great day. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care. As a listener of this program,